Guess what it is? Well, not yet, but as of release of episode. Guess what month we're in, my friend?
We're in August.
No, we are going to be in the spooky month of October.
Whoa, October. Whoa.
Spookums month, the best time. Spookums month. So happy Spookums month.
Happy Spookums month. I'm Luke. That's Shannon. This is a Spookums episode. Well, not mine, but yours is a little spookumsy.
Mine will be a little bit spookumsy. Not major spookumsy. I'm not that spooky. Yeah.
A little spookumsy. In peak me researching, I did my research for this episode 50 minutes before we started, so we're doing well.
Doing well. This is exactly what we want.
So I'm going to talk about Samhain.
Samhain?
Say Samhain.
I'm going to talk about Samhain. So, Samhain is a festival of the dead, meaning summer's end. Samhain is a celebration of the end of the harvest and the start of the coldest half of the year. For many practitioners, Samhain also is the beginning of the spiritual new year.
Right, okay.
So, it's believed to have Celtic pagan origins. And some Neolithic passage tombs in Ireland are aligned with the sunrise at the time of Samhain, which I didn't know.
No, I didn't know that either.
It is first mentioned in early Irish literature from the 9th century, which was like so many years ago. I'd say 12, 15 years.
No, it's like thousands of years ago.
So 12 plus years ago, really, isn't it?
12 years ago was like 2000 and...
Yeah, 12 plus years ago, like 12 or more.
Yeah, but if you were to say that, then that could literally be like a billion years ago, but just because it's in the plot. How much more does a 12 plus equal? Is it like 12 and then maximum 10? So like it's 12 plus 10, that's 12 plus, that's the maximum it can be. Or is it like 12 plus literally just goes into infinity? Is there ever an end?
So... It's over 9. It's from the 9th century. Where am I? It's from the 9th century. I didn't read this. I literally had 50 minutes of research. It is associated with many important events in Irish mythology, and I got into a little bit of an Irish mythology tale later.
Oh, fun.
The early literature, I know, yeah. I didn't know anything about it. The early literature say that Samhain was marked by great gatherings and feasts, and was when the ancient burial mounds were open, which were seen as portals to the other world. Some of the literature also associates Samhain with bonfires and sacrifices.
Ooh, fun. Maybe, no. What did they eat at the feast?
Well, it was kind of like, it was back in the day, so I don't know, grain.
That's a bit...
Ancient Celts mark Samhain most significant of the 4 quarterly fire festivals taking place at the midpoint between the fall equinox and the winter solstice. During this time of year, hearth fires in family homes were left to burn out whilst the harvest was gathered.
Oh, cool. Okay.
After the harvest work was complete, celebrants joined with druid priests to light a community fire using a wheel that would cause friction and spark flames. The wheel was considered a representation of the sun and was used along with prayers. Participants took a flame from the communal bonfire back to their home to relight the hearth.
Oh, okay.
So there's that burns down, they all make a big fire, they take a little stick with them, and then relight their own.
Like when they take the Olympic torch and they pass it around and then they put it on the big fire.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, but I don't think that lights your fire at home afterwards.
No, but everyone's making a big fire, they're like, haha, they all get a thing, they stick it in the thing, and they all march back to the houses, and then they light the houses, not that light the houses on fire, but light the fires in the houses.
They light their houses on fire afterwards.
They light the fires in the houses.
The bonfires were used in divination rituals.
Ooh, this is the fun stuff.
Although not all divinations involve fire, in the early 18th century, a ring of stones, one for each person, was laid round the fire. In the morning, the stones were examined, and if any were mislaid, it was said that the person it represented would not live out the year.
Oh, okay. A little bit of death prophecy going on.
Yeah. So if you really dislike someone,
you
sneak out, take the stone, and then in the morning they'll be like, oh, that was Jimmy's stone. And they're like,
Jimmy's gonna die. He's gonna die.
That was Jimmy's stone. Oh, I thought that was Fred's stone because he stole my sandwich the other day and I'm not happy with him. So it's kind of like we don't talk about Bruno except we don't talk about the stones in a circle. because they tell a prophecy.
Yeah, basically.
It's reaching, but...
People don't like prophecies. People don't like when people tell you what's going to happen and then it happens. It makes them sad. So don't do it.
That's why people don't like weather forecasts, I think.
Basically, I think so, yeah. Trying to prophesize something that, yeah, okay, you can kind of predict thanks to science, but also you never know.
People also took special care not to cause offence and sought to ward off any who were out to cause mischief.
Not mischief.
So they stayed near their homes or, if forced to walk in darkness, turned their clothes inside out or carried iron and salt with them to keep them at bay. In Southern Ireland, it was customary in Samhain to weave a small cross of sticks of straw called a partial. It was fixed over a doorway to ward off bad luck, sickness, and witchcraft, and would be replaced each Samhain.
So the battery ran out of them, so you had to top them up every year. You couldn't just leave it there for good. You had to replace it every year.
I think if you leave a little bit of stick outside for a year, it's gonna be a bit grim.
It's like a smoke alarm. Got to change the batteries once a year, so you got to like take out the old stick and then put in the new stick so that for the next year.
So the dead were also honoured on Samhain. The beginning of winter may have the beginning of The beginning of winter may have been seen as the most fitting time to do so, as it was a time of dying in nature. The souls of the dead were thought to revisit their homes seeking hospitality, which I feel is quite bold. Like, hey, I'm back.
You got any chicken for me, bro?
Places were set at the dinner table and by the fire to welcome them. The belief that the souls of the dead returned home on one night of the year and must be appeased seems to have ancient origins and is found in many cultures throughout the world. So, this is when we get into a cool myth. In a minute, but this is the myth. So, because the Celts believed that the barrier between the worlds was breachable during Samhain, they prepared offerings that were left outside villages and fields for fairies.
Oh, okay, we're getting into fairy stuff.
Yeah, so in the Boyhood Deeds of Fionn, says that Cire, fairy mounds or portals to the other world, were always open at Samhain.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Some specific monsters were associated with mythology surrounding Samhain, including a shape-shifting creature called Puka that received harvest offerings from a field. The Lady Gwyn is a headless woman dressed in white who chases night wanderers and was accompanied by a black pig.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'd rather not, thank you.
The Dullahan sometimes appeared as impish creatures, sometimes headless men on horses who carried their heads, which is like headless horsemen.
Headless horseman, yeah.
Riding flame-eyed horses, their appearance was as a death omen to anyone who encountered them. A group of hunters known as the Fairy Host might also haunt Samhain and kidnap people.
So Samhain was not the calm, like, Halloween that people think it is today.
Yeah, no. Similarly, as the Slough come from the west to enter houses and steal souls.
What? He stole souls?
So you had the choice of either 1, seeing a headless lady with a black pig.
Okay.
2, seeing a headless person riding a horse.
Okay.
3, flame-eyed horses which were omens of death.
Okay.
4, having your soul stolen. Or 5, being kidnapped.
Which would you pick?
If I was to pick one, I would probably go with... I'd maybe just like... I mean, you could get... Would you want to be chased by a headless woman? Probably not.
I would not want to be chased by a headless woman.
I suppose No, I wouldn't want to be kidnapped by Fae. No.
No, you don't know what's going to happen if you get kidnapped. Whereas if you just get your soul taken, it's like...
To be fair, maybe the death omen, because if you think about it, being born is a death omen, like you're gonna die.
Yeah, there is that, no matter what.
So, probably that one. One of the most famous Samhain-related stories is The Adventures of Nera, in which a hero Nera encounters a corpse and fairies and enters into the other world. So here's basically kind of a summary of it, because I did read it. It's like 8 pages. One Samhain night when the warriors of Ruach were feasting, King look, we're not going to say it right and I apologise now, offered a prize to any man who was brave enough to put a wicker band around the ankle of a corpse that had been hanged.
Okay, right.
Right? Got your attention once I said hanged.
Yeah, but if it's dead, no worries. Give me that gold. Gimme.
Right, however, remember, Samhain, the veil's thin, so the dead are back.
Yes, fine. Be right.
So, because Samhain was considered to be a night when the dead have power, only Nera was courageous enough to volunteer. When he placed the wicker band around the corpse's ankle, it moved and asked him for water. Nera allowed it to climb on his back. I personally wouldn't. I personally would not allow that.
Right. I was there like, okay, first thing when he comes back from the dead, he wants some water. Yeah, get that. Need to drink. I'd have gone for like an alcoholic drink, if I'm honest, if I'd just suddenly come back from the dead. But then he's suddenly carrying the corpse on his back. That's when the story went a bit much for me, I think.
And he carried it to the house. But flames sprang up around the house when they approached. They tried a second house, which was surrounded by water. On their third attempt, they were able to enter that. If it was Thursday, why thirsty? Why couldn't they just have some, like, they're dead, so what's it gonna do?
Why are they trying to take the corpse into a house? Because it wants water.
Yeah, because it wants water.
Why couldn't you just bring it a glass of water from a house? Why do you have to take the corpse with you?
I don't know about that one. I guess it doesn't match the story they were telling.
Okay, yeah, so he's carrying this corpse around, trying to find a house.
On the third attempt,
On the third house.
they were able to enter a house and the corpse drank 3 cups of water, spitting the last one on the householders and killing them.
That's a bit rude.
Nera returned the corpse to the gallows. But when he returned to the court, the hall was on fire and all the inhabitants had been decapitated. And that's why you should never carry a corpse around, because then you'll go back and everyone will be dead. Moral of the story.
Bravo! Encore! Encore!
Encore! So where did Halloween come from?
Where did it come from?
That was a brief history of Samhain. So where did it come from? Halloween developed separately to Samhain in cultures which didn't celebrate the older holiday. But it's hard to hide the influence that the Irish and other Celtic people had on the celebration. There are conflicting arguments on this, though most would agree that the Gaelic festival of Samhain, celebrated in Ireland since the Neolithic times, which was over 12 years ago.
12 plus years ago. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is the original source. The Welsh had their own version of Samhain called Caelangeaf.
Called what?
One second.
Caelangeaf.
Oh, that was loud, wasn't it? Also, by the Middle Ages, it was a relative common belief that all the souls of those who had died during the year had to wait until that night to slip into the next world.
Oh, that seems like horrible.
So it'd just kind of be like a very long queue, I guess.
Just a waiting room.
Imagine if you died the day afterwards.
Ah, and you had the whole year to go. Just like happened to die on November 1st. Like literally at 12:30 in the morning. You know, like in the middle of the night. So you've got a whole 365 days to just sit and just wait.
Well, technically, Samhain it's movable. It's a movable festival. Because it had to be between the solstices, so...
Yeah, but still.
So one of the major differences between Halloween and Samhain is the way the date is chosen. Halloween is based on a fixed date on the calendar. Samhain, if you're thinking of it in the traditional sense, Samhain is halfway between the fall equinox and the winter solstice, making it a seasonal celebration, one of the 4 based on the old Gaelic calendar. So Halloween is October the 31st, as we well know. It got its start because of its proximity to a holy day, or holy days which began on November the 1st, hence the name Halloween, short for All Hallows Evening. November the 1st is the Feast of All Hallows, or All Martyrs. The beginning of All Hallow Tide, a time set aside for remembering the dead in Western Christianity. November the 2nd is All Souls Day, a day of remembering all the dead. So in early Christianity, it was commonplace for a vigil to be held the evening before a holy day, and so Halloween, a holy evening, was born. The original date for All Hallows was May 13th.
What? Can you imagine Halloween being in May? That's weird.
It was to supplement a Roman celebration of the
Yeah,
dead.
but that would be weird, wouldn't it? Like, it just wouldn't feel right.
So, that's been a brief dive into Samhain.
Interesting.
But I did feel like it had to be mentioned because it's me and my severe love of Greek mythology.
Yes.
Absolutely nothing to do with Samhain. Absolutely nothing to do with Halloween or Hallows Eve, but to do with the changing of the seasons.
Yes.
So, Persephone and the seasons. Ba-da-ba-ba. So, in Greek mythology, this is how the seasons change.
Yes.
And October, autumn, seasons changing. I'm classing it. The first day of spring, also known as the vernal equinox, is a time for growth and rebirth. In ancient Greece, mythologies were developed to explain why things in the world occurred, which is like kind of how they did in all the old religions and stuff.
Yeah, that's just what they did. Like, they had to come up with reasons for things.
So, the myth of the abduction of Persephone by Hades explained the seasons. To the ancient Greeks, spring and summer signified the 6 months where Persephone returned from the underworld, and her mother, Demeter, made the earth bloom and grow bountiful after her absence. When Persephone left the company of the gods and returned to the underworld, Demeter's loss was expressed in the barrenness of autumn and winter. Demeter threatened to make like everything barren and be like, I'm never gonna grow anything again because you've kidnapped my daughter. Hades is like, well, too bad, so sad, essentially.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
But then Zeus was like, okay, well, let's kind of strike a deal because otherwise humans are going to die, so maybe let's not do that. He allowed Persephone to go back to the gods. But before she left... It's a very famous story, so I'm sure we all know it.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely know.
He made her eat some pomegranate seeds. Well, told her to eat some pomegranate seeds, and she did. Sadly, this act of kindness was a ruse. Anyone who tasted food of Hades was condemned to remain in the underworld forever.
Oh no.
Yep. In the end, a compromise was struck, and Persephone would return to Hades for 4 months of the year, and the rest would be above ground with Demeter.
Yay!
Demeter reluctantly agreed to this deal, restored Earth's fertility, and returned to Olympus with Persephone. But then the time would come when Persephone would go to the underworld and the Earth would get all sad and destroyed and everything like that.
Joyce, a happy time.
So yeah, that was Samhain and a little dip into Persephone.
A little dip into Persephone, because of course, if we could do it, we would manage to make it late.
Because I'm reaching. But whoa, that's been the episode. Whoa, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
I've been Luke. That's been Shannon.
I've been Shannon.
We like Halloween, we like Samhain, and we like Persephone.
We like spookums. I like spookums.
We like spookums. I don't know where this is falling, so either we've got more Halloween episodes coming up or we're
done with Halloween. We will see. We don't know yet. Professionals.
Whoa, we know what we're doing. Check out the trailer.
Listen to the trailer, guys. Don't be trash.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We do other stuff too, so here's a trailer for our podcast, GNS Radio.
The fog has now reached even our radio station. At first, the shadowy figures were locked outside, but they appear to have breached the building and are now loose within. As this fog spreads deeper down the corridors, I can see people running outside our window along the corridor. Oh no, the fog, it's already here. It's following them at an unnatural speed, and the shadows of others within are in pursuit. There's a noise of scratching on the other side of my door. I think I'll cut to an ad as we deal with this latest development.